We are live. What's going on? How's everybody doing?
All right. Doing great today, man. How are you guys?
Fantastic, man.
Amazing.
Doing good. I'm energized. It's Saturday, bro. And I get to spend the day with you guys, man. This is amazing.
Love it. Happy Saturday, everyone. That's awesome.
Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, fam. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. This is absolutely phenomenal. Carly and Pace, thank you. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be here and to be part of this and to help everybody that's wanting to change their family legacy. Build this this dream that we all have, man. You know, it's phenomenal. We get to come in here and to network with each other and build things that I for me, it's just so humbling, Zach and Chris, to be here with you guys because I never thought I was the person that was capable of doing this. Aww. You know, I grew up in an average town in Ryrie, Idaho, dude. And, here we are having conversations about changing legacies and changing our family tree and our just all these different things, man, just impacting people on a massive scale, man. This is just amazing. And I get to be here and hang out with you guys on a Saturday, dude. This is phenomenal. And thank you guys for all tuning in. This is awesome. If you guys aren't already, this is being streamed all over Facebook. This is on YouTube. Got a lot of really cool stuff going on. So I hope you guys are getting value from this. This is the Elephant Show. If you guys are in the Elephant Challenge, come and hang out. Come and hang out in the Elephant Show. Come and learn how to get into real estate. Come and learn how to make money, how to network with each other. Come and find lenders. Come and find buyers. Come and learn how to increase your negotiation and your communication skills. We got some amazing things going on. We got a really awesome guest. Zac Hoyt, everybody.
Hey. Woo.
What's going on, Zach? How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm feeling so stoked for today. I'm so excited. I'm always excited to be with you guys doing anything. Being with this sub-2 community, doing anything. All these Elephant Challenge participants, they don't even know. Amazing, all the community that they're going to get. But I am just so full of energy today. I cannot wait. My day has been so jam-packed. I've been up late, awake early. I'm going to be up late, but I'm just going to be full of energy the whole time because that's what we can do with our mind. That's what we can do with our life is change it. So cool. Oh, man. I'm excited.
Hold on. I gotta mute my Zoom here. We got Zoom going on, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. We're trying to figure this out. If you guys are on Zoom, if you guys are watching this on Zoom, or if you have been on Zoom, we're moving this on over to YouTube and on Facebook because unfortunately, we're just getting to a point now to where we want to continue expanding this, and unfortunately, just can't do that from Zoom anymore. So, appreciate Nathan Harris. He's holding us down, man. He's Canadian and he's running for, I think, governor or something like that. So he's holding down. He's helping everybody move over to Zoom or from Zoom over to YouTube. So if you guys are catching a little bit of the Zoom in the background, that's what that was.
Great job, guys.
Sherry, thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate you guys. Listen, if you guys are watching this and if you guys have been following the Elephant Challenge, if you guys have been getting value from this, if you guys are laughing, if you guys are able to get in here and meet all these different people and you guys are increasing your circumstances, you are getting actionable items to go cause chaos in your business every single week. Listen, there is a fee to be here. Contrary to popular belief, this is not free. Okay, there is a fee. And that fee is, all we ask is that if you got value from this in any way, shape, or form, if it made you laugh, if it made you cry, please take a second and go share this with somebody.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. Zach
That's
is doing some amazing things. I feel like we almost got Bill Nye on today.
Ooh.
Zach, what do you got? Like 13 or 14 degrees now, man?
Yeah, I collect those expensive pieces of paper. Real cool, right? Doesn't everyone? Oh, man.
So before we jump right in, right? So Jesse, you want to explain to the audience what is the Elephant Challenge?
Fantastic question. So for everybody who doesn't know, the Elephant Challenge is a place where you can come in and you can join an entire community where you get to learn real estate for free. You get to learn some high-level shit. You get to learn how to communicate with people. You get to learn how to build relationships with people. things that I never thought that I would be doing. And you get to do all this for free. I wish something like this existed, Chris, when I first got into real estate, bro.
Agreed. I agree.
You know, I mean, what better way to get in here and to legit start making money with people? This is absolutely phenomenal. And they call it the Elephant Challenge because jumping into real estate, Zach, I mean, you can relate with this. Jumping into real estate, it's almost like drinking out of a fire hose, let alone once you start getting into creative financing, right?
It's like 1,000 fire hoses, Jesse. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. You don't even know right around every corner, someone's just waiting to spray you with a fire hose. That's literally what it's like, right? Like a big fire hose. You just get blasted by it, but you get a little excited. You get a little excited. Everyone likes a squirt gun, right? A little squirt gun fight or something like that. But man, and real estate is even more cool than a squirt gun because it can change your life so powerfully. So that's why it's so important to get focused, finding a great group to work with, because you're going to fall down. You're going to fail. If you don't fail, you're not trying hard enough. But we're going to make you fail every day. Look, we're trying something new right now. We're failing at it, guys.
Definitely failed hard today.
It's perfect, though, right? Because we're trying to do something bigger. We're trying to do something better. We're trying to reach more people, share this awesome resource with you guys, all the resources that we have all the time. So we just want a better platform. We're so excited about it, but yeah, we're failing. It's our first time. That's okay. That's okay. It'll be our 1,000th time pretty soon. So it's okay.
Can anybody else relate with this? Like Zach said, man, like everywhere, like you turn a corner, it's like somebody else is like just waiting to spray you with a fire hose. You know, it's like, hey guys, I just found out about, I can go build a relationship with a probate attorney. Bam, water hose. Hey guys, I just found out I can go, the KPIs for door knocking are fantastic in Alaska. Boom, water hose. Hey, I can go leverage other people's money, debt, and credit. Boom, water hose. Right. The problem with real estate is there's so many ways to be successful in it, man. It's a double-edged sword here, and it's really easy to get this shiny object syndrome, and it's almost like eating an elephant. So that's why this is called the Elephant Challenge. But Zach, how do we eat an elephant?
How do you eat an elephant? It's so big. I'm a hungry dude. But
I would start with the toenails personally.
Yeah,
I think so.
Hard, but I guess if you have to eat them at some point, right? Just eat that frog in the morning.
Let me. That sounded so weird. Let me be more specific. Yeah, Jess is here, not on toenails instead of the meat. I don't know. That's where I would start I just work my way. Start on the way up. I don't know. I've never ate an elephant before, but. One bite at a time
for me. I like those ears, right? That's my experience with them.
Oh my gosh, dude. At the fair, we used to have what's called elephant ears, and they're these big scones, man, that are just lathered with sugar and cinnamon and butter. And they're amazing, man. Elephant ears. I take that back. I rescind my toenail comment. I would start with the elephant ears.
Now I got to fight you for those elephant ears. That's all right. They're big enough.
I love it, guys. Well, in short, the Elephant Challenge is a place where you can come in, you can get clarity, you can get direction, you can get a community. Chris, what would you say is the biggest aid in anybody's success?
So many avenues. And I want to say, get into real estate, the mindset is key.
100%. Where can you come in and elevate your mindset? A community.
Exactly.
Right? Being able to come in and network with other people and have these types of conversations. I had an epiphany one time, and I've shared this before, but I'll share it again with you guys real quick. Chris and I are business partners, and we both met at one of a Pace's masterminds down in Phoenix earlier this year. And when I went down there like 4 or 5 days early, and I was having dinner with a couple other investors down there. We were eating at not Texas Roadhouse. What's the other one? Outback Steakhouse. We were eating at the Outback. Phenomenal, dude. You cannot beat their blooming onions. Gosh, dang it. I'm so hungry. Chris, are you still fasting? Chris is doing like a 60-day fast right now.
Aren't you?
But we're sitting there. It's interesting, man, because we're sitting there in Outback Steakhouse, and we're having these conversations about changing our legacy, about changing our family dynamics, about creating the life that we are capable of living and not just settling to where income says we have to live. And as we're having this conversation, man, I'm just kind of taken back for a second. Like this was one of those points in my life that stood out specifically. It was just so surreal. Okay. There's probably maybe 6 or 7 of us. And we're just having these high level conversations. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, growing up, I always treated, I was always, money in my family is treated like a 4-letter word. It's like a cuss word. We don't say the word money. We certainly don't ask people about money. We don't talk about money. It's something that's very private. But here we are in the Outback Steakhouse, attending a mastermind with all these other people, talking about high-level things. And as we're sitting there, Zach, I'm just looking around and I'm taking in that moment, dude. I'm just so focused on just gratitude and being in the present and noticing the sights, the smells, the surroundings. And I'm sitting here looking like everybody else who's in here right now. It was a Friday night. I think maybe it was a Thursday night. But I'm sitting here looking at everybody else thinking, man, this was me a few years ago. This was me 10 years ago. Coming here either with the boys or on a date. And what was the conversation like that I was having? What was the conversation like everybody else in here was having? Are they complaining about their job? Are they complaining about their boss, their friends, their home life? Whatever that is, man. And here we are sitting here talking about changing our stars, creating money, creating a legacy, servitude. And it was just something that was just so surreal to me, man. And it stuck out. And to be able to jump in here and have these meetings with you guys on a Saturday afternoon. What's everybody else doing on a Saturday afternoon right now? And we're sitting here having conversations. We're being intentional with the people that we want to work with, the people that we want to make money with, the things we want to create, the people we want to impact. I mean, Chris and I and Zach, we met maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, at most.
Maybe at most, yeah.
I didn't know about Pace until a week before the last Elephant Challenge, a month ago. And so I felt his energy of all of that and all the potential of this community. I'm just like, I'll try signing this up. I'd been in real estate, but I'm like, I'll sign up, see what this is about. I was blown away by Pace. I didn't know him, so I'm blown away, right? And then the community was just fire hose of love and happiness and everything amazing that I've been seeking forever. And so it was just, holy smokes. Yeah, I'll dive right in. I'll do whatever he's saying. I'll go and do that grunt work, with every newbie that's there and help them all along the way. It's exciting because it's fun, because it's making people so that they can actually get into real estate, making it accessible to them, giving them a place to start, telling them what to do. Literally, people just need to know what to do. They don't know, but getting them towards that. And then through that whole thing, I decided to choose Florida because I want to move there, have some properties there. I'm in Ohio right now, grew up in upstate New York. It was always that snowbird's dream to go to Florida. And that wasn't something, that my parents had the capability of doing growing up. We just didn't at the time. So it's like, I want Florida. And so in Florida, in that group, I met these lovely gentlemen and just leading the way, helping other people out in the world, doing this thing, serving people every day let alone a Saturday too. It's amazing. And so, yeah, that was just 3 weeks ago. And here we are. I feel like you guys are some of my best friends. I can't wait to hang out with you all the time.
Zach, totally agree, man. Here's what's interesting, guys. When you guys come into these meetings, I want to paint this picture real quick. Like Zach said, we've known each other for maybe 3, maybe 4 weeks at the most. Okay. And it's because we were intentional. When you guys are coming into these meetings, we're like I said, it's not really a Zoom meeting, but I think everybody's either watching either on Facebook or YouTube right now. Be intentional. That's the theme that you guys are going to hear from Chris and I every single week until the day that we die, is being intentional. Because when we met Zach and I initially had a meeting, and I think it was planned for like 30 minutes. I think we were on there for over 2 hours. And then Zach and Chris had a meeting, and that went phenomenal. And then the three of us had another meeting. Yesterday morning, I think it was, maybe a little over 24 hours ago, about not only doing business together, but creating an entirely new business that we're not seeing really served in our community at this point. So this is amazing, guys. And it all came from just being intentional. When you guys come into these meetings, make sure you guys are treating it like a boardroom. of other real estate professionals and get in here and come out of this with a goal of, hey, I want to get in the comments and I want to line up, 2 people to talk to and connect with every single day next week. Fill up your Calendly. Go in there and create a Calendly and fill that thing up. Be intentional with those conversations. Don't go in there and just say, hey, I'm Jesse, and hey, I'm Chris. Hey, where are you at? I'm in Alaska. I'm in New York. Cool. Where are you marketing? Florida. All right. Well, if I see anything in Florida, I'll keep you in mind. That's how a lot of conversations go when people are networking. Guys, get in there and be intentional with what you guys are wanting to do, what your expectations are coming out of that, and how you guys can get in here and make money with each other. That's the entire point. And you guys get to come in here and do this all for nothing. All you have to do is show up. You just have to show up. So anyway, all that to say, Zac, dude, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Every superhero has an origin story, and yours is phenomenal. You have 15 degrees. You've done just some really amazing things. We certainly vibe with you. And obviously we want to continue building that relationship with you and doing some big things together and serving at a very high capacity with you. But how did you get to be the superhero that you are, man? How did this whole thing start?
That's so kind of you, right? It's funny on the other side of it. I feel like a superhero sometimes. I do. Helping these people out. And I want to be a superhero more and more, giving it to everyone in the world, loving on everyone. Mm-hmm. Man, but yeah, that's not how it started. Not at all. So yeah, I mean, shucks. I was a guy in upstate New York, growing up in a small town, Pulaski, New York. It's right next to the lake, but small town. My parents, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. So middle class, maybe lower middle class, if we were being honest with ourselves. But yeah, we didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about some of those things. But we talked about a lot was love in this world. Talked about love so much. My parents, they were from the hippie generation. So they taught me to hug people, hug trees, love everyone, just do good in this world. And, it took me all this time in my life, maybe minus a decade or so, but just to realize that what we didn't have in money, we were just overflowing in love and happiness. And then seeing other people that maybe had money but had no love in their life and how empty they felt with all of that. So that was just a huge thing that I had. I'm like, oh, let me work through this. But I mean, I had an entrepreneurial spirit since I was really young. I remember coming back from Toys R Us when that was before they were bankrupt, and you could go in there and you could play their video games and everything there, and it was really cool at the time. But I wanted a Nintendo so bad. I was 8 years old, so bad. I had other friends, they had a Sega, they had a Nintendo. How come I can't have a Nintendo? This is my first realization of scarcity versus abundant mindset. And my parents, they said, well, we don't have that money for you right now. Christmas, they would shower me with any gifts, if I was going to get any, and that was really exciting. That's why I love giving people gifts on Christmas now too, a lot. But, I had to figure out that we didn't have money at that time. That was my first realization of what money was. And I was like, all right, we didn't have it. So this is how I have to learn to live. That's the first thought. And then I'm like, well, but no, I want that Nintendo. How can I get that Nintendo at the end of the day? And they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, it just costs this amount of money. I said, well, what if I got that money? And they're looking back at me like in the seat as we're driving home. And they're like, okay, sure. If you got that money, we'd let you buy the Nintendo. I was like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. That's all it took. So I'm like, now I'm starting to think, well, how many ways can I make money to do that? I was like, Tooth Fairy gives me money. She's pretty cool. Like I would end up, I'd be like, all right, but what else? What else is magic? Because literally it was that mindset of Tooth Fairy is magic. What else is magic in this world? And how can I do that? And so, I mean, I did so many things, but at the age of 8, I went and got a DBA, a doing business as, so a name, and a tax number so that I could properly pay my taxes like every good person should. All right. Yeah. But I did that and I started doing craft fairs, buying, making these products. getting entrepreneurial. I had a tax number, I had business cards, and my parents were extremely supportive in that. And so I realized, all right, I have to just make money. I have to find ways of making money. And it wasn't until I went on to become into computers and an engineer, and then just getting out of that and transitioning here to Ohio, where I went into architecture, and I ended up having a divorce. My whole life comes crashing down, right? I'm changing my careers. I was the successful engineer that was leading people 2 and 3 times his age we had the world's most powerful laser system, and it was amazing. Energy like the sun. The hippie part of me was really happy about that. Like, let's give this to the world. But I did not want to be stuck. I didn't want to be stuck in upstate New York. I didn't want to be limited. I didn't want to be put in a box. If I wanted a bigger Nintendo when I wanted to grow up, I wanted to get it. And I just didn't want to be stuck there. So I'm like, let me go find something else, and then divorce happens. Okay. World comes crashing down at this point. Like, all right, well, what am I going to do? Well, I wasn't taught to be that person like, woe is me, so sad, but I felt that anyway. I felt that because you can't help that. And it's like, I have to start over. I have to learn how to date again. Everything was different. And all these dating apps kept coming out. I'm like, can't handle that. Let me just go to a coffee shop. Let me go to a coffee shop and let me write down my bucket list. My bucket list ideas of what do I want to do? Like, let me just get some energy in this life. What inspires me? What makes me really excited at this point? So I started writing things on there, and really fun stuff. And that summer, I ended up going skydiving. I went scuba diving. I learned how to play the guitar. And I had this thing written for a marathon, because everyone put a marathon. Like, these, when you Google bucket list items for people, everyone puts a marathon on there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's inspiring. And then I looked how long a marathon was. It's 26.2 miles, if you guys don't know. I played football in college, and I could run from here to the wall, and I could smash it. And then I'm taking my breaths. Right? I'm ready to go again. And like 15, 20 seconds, ready to go again. Running was not my thing. I was never one of those. I was like, I'm an elephant. We talk about an elephant. Like, I'm trying to move myself around. I'm not one of those lightweight bing runners or anything like that. So I'm like, that's really long. Why don't I do a half marathon? That's a thing too. People do that too. So, but the cool thing is, I found a friend who said, no, you could do it like this. And she led me to a community that gave me that support at the end of the day. And that community, and it gave me a purpose, a higher purpose. I was now raising money for the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. So I was doing it for a higher purpose. I had all these people that were enrolled in my success as well. And I said, okay, here I go. Here's the plan. Here's a plan to run from 2 miles to a full marathon in 4 months. But unfortunately, I only had 3.5 for the event that I want to do. I said, what's the big deal? If it's that ridiculous at the end, what the heck is the big deal about another half week, right?
Right.
It's all magic and ridiculous to me at this point anyway. So let's just try it. So I start running, 3 miles, winded. It gets to the point where my long run was 5 miles. But when I did it, 4 months later, I ran that marathon. I only stopped at mile 25 for a second, and because my legs were locking up and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, because the most amount of miles I'd run before that is 20. So getting into that at that point, running that marathon, that taught me, if I think I can or cannot do something in life, I am right. If I think I can or I can't, I'm flat out right. If you think you couldn't have done that right from the beginning, I wouldn't have tried. And guess what?
I love that.
I would have succeeded in that, but I didn't. I kept going. And then I'll tell you even better. I ended up training a friend of mine because she thought she couldn't do it. I was like, well, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. She's like, I know, you've told me that so many times now, but like, it takes repetition. She went from 3 miles. I'm like, if you could run 3 miles, you can run a half marathon. If you run a half marathon, you really want to do it, you can run a full marathon. No problem. Right?
Yep.
So we end up running this full marathon about a year later. We're running, and I'll tell you, it's the first time I ever ran it nonstop. Like, I didn't stop for any, because we had been training for a good decent amount of time through the winter of upstate Ohio. Never run in Alaska, man, but
Not yet. Not yet.
Next. That's right.
We'll go do it. We'll go do it this winter. How about you come up this winter? We'll recreate like that. You remember in Rocky 4? You seen Rocky 4?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's over there in Russia, like climbing mountains and shit. We'll go do that, man. We'll go ride moose bareback.
Love that. Nope. Okay. Awesome. So we're running this marathon, right? We're dying. It's that last mile. We know we're there, and she wants to stop, and I want to stop, but I'm like, we can decide at this point whether we want to stop or not, right? So let's just not stop. Let's just not stop, because half the secret to running is just keep running. That's literally half of running. It's your mind. It's just keep running, keep at it. We crossed that finish line, and we have one of those photos that they take with our bibs on that say our numbers. And I'm just staring over at her. She's running past. She's bawling. Her eyes are just crying like she can't believe this whole thing happened. And in that moment, my heart filled up so much more than for even myself, for before me doing it, but after me doing it, all of that. I felt so full at that moment that I could give that to someone else. That I'm like, that's obviously part of my why, is that I just love helping people in this world, love helping people out of the situations like I was in, of having no money, of not being able to have, all those benefits of starting up in life. But doing that, even the cooler thing that happened that I didn't even anticipate, this is where the magic happens. So that was a lot of intention. I thought we were going to do it, but the magic happens when you just keep going on and on. And now she runs a half marathon every month. I just met her last night again, catching up. We went out with my new fiance and her. We went out to celebrate a little bit, and we were catching up, and she does a half marathon every month for charity. She created her own charity to do this. She's been doing it now 3 years, and people just keep giving and giving and giving. All of this for charity. None of that would have happened if I didn't believe in myself, if I didn't then give that to somebody else. And then now she's affecting all of these people. And can you imagine all the people that she is inspiring on her social media? All of the other people that come out of that. That's the awesome ripple effect of community and just giving. And that's the magic. I could never have thought, hey, I want to start a charity or do something great for all these people. Let me go train her so that she can do that. Never would have happened. It just happens organically and magically. That's how I love working in life. That's how I love networking in real estate, is it'll just happen. When you find those similar hearted people that they get full by the same thing, it's not hard at that point. It just gives itself to what needs to happen. And it just happens. It's not, can or can't we work together? When I find someone like these gentlemen that you see on here, with that love, that same vision for giving, caring, sharing, all of that, it's easy. And so it's not, can we work together, or, can we make money together? The words shift, and they're so powerful. The words shift to, how many ways can we work together? How many ways can we make money together? And then at that point, it's not a yes or no question. It's like an abundancy type of answer that you get. Because you're not going to just get one, because you're asking a question of how many ways. It's plural. You're tricking your mind to even thinking, so that you have to come up with at least 2 ways. At least 2 ways. Because that's English language. And our mind listens to all the things that we say all the time. Our subconscious mind and our unconscious mind, they are listening, and they're powerful. They're more powerful than our conscious mind. So if we can get our conscious mind to start saying things, our subconscious and unconscious minds will be tricked. They'll be tricked. They won't know any better, because they're just listening. They're listening. Then they are more awake when we're sleeping. And that's a lot of the hours of the day, isn't it? So why don't you feed them good things to help you while you're sleeping?
Zach, that is powerful stuff, man. I'm so, like, my cup is filled right now, bro. Like, mic drop, end scene, we're done, man. Everything you need to know to be everything you need to know to be successful in real estate, there you go. You have it.
So Zach, let me ask you, during that time where you were pushing through, what kept you going?
What kept me going? Well, for me, I stacked my variables. So part of it was every time that I ran, I had my phone on me and it would post to social media. I'd start my app and it would post to social media. It said, Zac is running right now. And it's like here, and it would show you, and it's like, click on here to see where he is. And it'd show you, and then it would go like, he's run 1 mile, it'd show you like 2 miles, it'd show you. And I might even say like, oh, I'm going for this today. And then if anyone commented on it, it would end up speaking it right to my ears. How about that? So they could say, hey, great job today. Like, good job on your long run. Wow, 10 miles. Oh my gosh, I've never run that far. And then you have my friends, other friends that are like, hey, run faster, idiot. I see your pace too. You should run faster.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
that's
okay.
amazing. That is amazing.
So that actually, I mean, it helps having that community because you're going to get down. And if you don't have some type of accountability, I just forced myself to be accountable. I created that. I didn't have to. But I've found that when you force yourself to be accountable to yourself first, I mean, that's the most powerful thing because you're the one that tends to care the most, right? So why aren't you forcing yourself to do that? That's the question. You know, maybe the question is then, well, how do I do that? Or better question, how many ways can I force myself to be accountable to myself? And then how many ways can I include other people on top of that? Stack those variables to be accountable to all of them. Because when you're accountable to all these people, you're not going to be left behind. You know, someone's going to pick you up and say, it's okay. I know you're having a bad day. Let me help you with this. Or let me give you inspiration for that. Or, oh, you don't know something? I have that answer. Why didn't you ask me sooner? Our whole community of Sub 2, we all have the collective answer to any question we ever want to ask. Every question is in someone's mind, and every answer is in somebody else's mind. I am 100% confident of that. I know that's the case. So that makes me feel so comfortable, for one, just being able to make these mistakes, try this software out, right, for the first time, because other people have those answers. And if not, then we'll become those people with answers on that and help the next person out. It's so freaking cool.
That's what it's all about, man, is just turning around and helping the people that are just a couple chapters behind us up to where we are.
Man. And if you can get someone to just like, if someone could springboard me 6 months ahead in any of my goals, wow, that would be so freaking amazing. You know, if you really put difficult goals and then someone could springboard you 6 months ahead in that, holy smokes, let alone someone that could take you years or even a decade ahead. And you wouldn't have to make all these expensive mistakes that cost you money, they cost you time, they cost you headache, they cost you heartache. No, don't do that. That's dumb. Get in a good community. And I've been searching for a great community like this my whole entire real estate career. So it's been 10 years I've been looking for this community, trying to create it locally, but it's just not big enough. I wanted something globally. I wanted something bigger than this, right? And so I can't believe I couldn't find Pace before this, but Pace Morby is freaking awesome. He's kind of my hero. Like kind of as in like, I'm just humbly afraid to say he's absolutely my hero. I love that guy. I love you guys, but I love him. And I feel so much love from the community that was the thing is I know everyone's going to share. If I have that question, they're going to share with me. And I'm so excited to share it with everyone in that community. Literally, I just want them to ask a question that I know the answer to. Like, please, you're trying to do something right now. Please. Oh, let me know. I'd love to help you. Because, I mean, so many other people have that question. I might even have that question too, right? And I'm like, wait, I don't even remember half the stuff that I know because our brains aren't meant for remembering things. They're meant for processing things. I joke to these guys because I tell my girlfriend, well, sorry, she's on this actually, my fiance now. I tell my fiance often. She made a mistake like that yesterday as well, and she owned up to that. So I'll own up to my mistakes. But you know, just it's so freaking cool, guys. I'm going to have to stop on that whole thing because I could just go on and on about how awesome this community is. So if you guys that are listening, you don't know about this Elephant Challenge, look it up now. We're going to send you links all over the place. It's free. It's awesome. And I'm telling you, you would not find anything better if you tried searching for it.
Dude, I love that, Zac. I freaking love that, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that because I think that was just so stinking powerful. And one of the big things that stuck out to me, and you've used this word before, and I don't know that I've actually said this to you, but one of the things that actually stood out specifically for me was you used the word magic.
Magic.
I love that, bro. I love that because I feel like as we grow older, we lose that sense. We're I don't know if programmed is the right word, but we're raised to think a certain way. Hey, don't, that's risky. Why are you doing that? I mean, we've all heard that. Why are you doing this? Go get a job. Go get something that you're going to be able to, retire in and put your money away. And, the economy is bad right now. Gas prices are up. Inflation is up. Houses are up. Interest rates are up. But even with all of that going on, what is everybody else who's trying to change their stars? What are they doing? Are they keeping their money in the freaking bank? You got more people buying real estate now.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is amazing. And it's like magic.
It is. It's funny. And, it's that childhood whimsy that, there's studies that show that a lot of, like, all babies are born as brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. They're, they do these IQ tests on them and they're brilliant. It's just the environment afterwards ends up beating them down so that they test them, older people, and they lose that ability to just think with an open mind, to think like magic. They lose that because we're taught in society that no, things happen a very certain way. So, if you teach someone how to run a marathon, they'll run a marathon. You don't teach them all those powerful things that happen after running a marathon, all the inspiration that can happen from that and how that can fractally spiral into everything in the world. I mean, I was just talking to her last night. She's like, I'm so tired from doing this all the time. I'm like, that's cool. I get that. Maybe it's time. And I'm just, by maybe, I mean, it's definitely time. You should start a group for that. Inspire other people to do that. Let other people run in your place. Let them run and I'll run. I don't want to run 12 a year, quite frankly, but I'll run a couple. I usually run one with them anyway. I like to be able to run a half marathon at any given point, but that's inspirational, when you can get a whole group of people because, she's she's my little project. She's one of my best friends, but just trying to break through her mind and all her limiting beliefs. I just want to squeeze them out of her. I tell you, it's crazy when she'll just spit them out like, oh, I can't do that. Or, they can, but not me. Or, it's just so many limiting beliefs. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. And she's like, really? You think I'm pretty? It's like, oh my goodness. Everyone should think they're pretty, number one, because you are, but it's literally whatever you're telling yourself you're going to believe. It's crazy. So that's kind of where magic is. So let's get some more childhood whimsy. I had a contractor's, one of my favorite contractors, his birthday was yesterday. And so I love silly string because I'm a child at heart, and so I love when people surprise me with tons of silly string. I have a 24-pack that I got from Amazon just because I want to make sure we have plenty of silly string whenever anyone wants to surprise me. So we hit them with so much silly string. He even heard it coming. You hear that tick, ding, tick, ding, tick, ding when you're starting to shake it up. we pre-shake them. Oh, I have a whole process around silly string. I pre-shake them so you can't hear, take all this stuff off and then hide it and try not to move very much so you don't hear that. But then hit them with silly string. My fiance hits me with silly string all the time. She said if I did it as much to her that she does it to me, she would cry. She would be like, and that's okay. I like to get hit with silly string, but that's because I want that inspiration, that childhood whimsy. I want there to be magic. I don't want me to have those limitations of whatever they are. Literally, whatever you want to get in life. Mm-hmm. Entirely freaking possible. It's more than freaking possible. It's easy when you surround yourself with the right people and you have the right mindset. It's easy. That's all.
100%, bro. 100%.
And
have you ever heard of something called the Elephant Challenge? Or I'm sorry, not the. Gosh, dang it! Have you ever heard of the Elephant Challenge, Zach?
You got that one-track mind with that Elephant Challenge.
No. It's called the Spaghetti Challenge.
Spaghetti Challenge.
The Spaghetti Challenge. So when I was in the Air Force, I taught some leadership courses, and one of the things that we did in there was we'd bring people in and we'd talk about these different leadership concepts and things like that. But we also had an activity, and we would call it the Spaghetti Challenge. And basically, what it is, you divide everybody up into groups, and you give everybody, I don't remember what it was, like maybe, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 pieces of raw spaghetti. And then they had like maybe 36 inches of yarn. And obviously a handful of marshmallows. And they had to basically take all that. And I think maybe like 6 inches of tape or something like that. And they had to take all of these materials and see which group could build the highest marshmallow tower.
Okay.
And here's what was interesting was they would go through and you know, they would try to figure out, okay, who's going to take it upon themselves to be the leader. And then they would do all these different things. They'd go ahead and tap that person and say, okay, you're dead. You're no longer the leader. What's the function of the group going to be after that? What's the group dynamic? Who's going to take charge? Is somebody even going to take charge? Are they going to be able to actually do anything once the time runs out? And it was interesting because you have a lot of people that will spend a lot of time trying to figure out, all right, here's what we should do. We should build a base with spaghetti and put marshmallows on it. No, wait a minute. We should build it from the top down and then turn it upside down. Like you hear all these different concepts going on, right? And you got like 10 minutes or something like that. So people spend a lot of time analyzing this and like a third of the time actually trying to build it. Okay. And here's what was interesting was after they announced the winner and all that kind of fun stuff, they go through some statistics. And out of the 2 top groups of individuals that actually do the best at the spaghetti challenge, why do I keep calling it the spaghetti challenge? Marshmallow challenge, whatever. You know what? It's not the elephant challenge. The two top groups that do the best were structural engineers, and the second was kindergartners.
No kidding.
Yes.
Kindergartners. Because it goes back to that childhood whimsical magic thinking. Like, hey, like let's just do it. Let's just get in there. Let's have fun with it. Let's play with it. Let's figure out like what works and what most people will spend more time than not just sitting there analyzing and over analyzing. And you can probably see a lot of that, you know, like we were talking about earlier, once you get into real estate, it's like drink it from a fire hose. Yeah.
But if you go back to what you're talking about, Zach, just having that childhood magical mindset and just saying, hey, let's go cause some chaos. Let's just go figure this out. It's crazy how much further ahead you can get in your real estate endeavors when you're intentional, when you're carefree, and when you're just striving with the mindset of, hey, I can go mess it up. Because guess what? I've got the same 24 hours tomorrow and the next day and the next day to go do it a little bit better.
That's awesome.
So that's awesome, man. I love that you said that. The word magic is just such a staple in my daily mantra, man. So all of this to say, dude, just that was one thing that really stuck out to me when we first met was you used that word magic. And I feel like it just does so many amazing things for your mindset. It's a limitless possibility at that point, you know?
Right. Because what are the rules in magic? Anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Right? And it can blow your mind. And it can come right from the side you don't even know. So if you believe in magic, then you believe that anything can happen. You know? That you can't understand how it will happen. You can accept that. It's like, okay, because then all those limiting beliefs that say, oh no, that's going to get in the way. This is going to get in the way. No, just believe that magic will make it happen. That's a nice place to start. And then let's backfill that with great tools to use to keep you along the way, and know that you have to have good community and surrounding yourself with good people, being able to have a good intuition to sense when you're going down the wrong path or going towards the wrong people in your life. That's really important. But magic, it's one of those first steps. You got to unlock your minds.
100%, bro. And maybe this ties in with what my next question is for you. If you guys can see Zach on the bottom, his name tag, it also has a 0 to infinity. Tell me a little bit about that.
A little bit about that.
What does that mean? 0 to infinity.
So 0 to infinity. Those are 2 of my favorite numbers in general and in real estate specifically. But when I got into real estate after my divorce, I was in architecture school, and this running friend of mine who, I helped her do all of that. She then saw one of those flipping shows on TV, Flip This House. I don't remember which one it was at the time. it doesn't matter because I went to it, got, paid for this thing, went to that thing, paid there, went to a week, paid there. There wasn't a lot of community. It didn't help me, but it got me going. But the thing is it got me excited because they said you can get into real estate with no money, no credit, and no experience. I say, well, that's great because I believe in magic and those are all the things that I have. No money, check. No credit. I took on all of her debt and, well, at school, I couldn't pay that anymore. So I was like, let's just see what happens with this. Mm-hmm. So no credit, no money, didn't have experience in that, but I was willing to learn and I believed in magic. So I said, okay, I'll go to that. And then it just kept moving along, getting into some things a little bit more. I'd spray paint bandit signs in the beginning because, that's how they would work. And I still use that as a concept today. Like you're talking about, Jesse, just take those action. Those little kindergartners are just playing with those marshmallows, maybe eating them, maybe eating some of the spaghetti, who knows, uncooked. Mm-hmm. But spray paint those bandit signs. That's how I was starting out because I didn't have money to buy real bandit signs. So I was an architect, so I could cut things out. So I traced something, cut things out, made a stencil, and I just spray painted them. Another sign, another sign. All right, go put them up and make some sloppy action and then figure out what I had to do next. Because I hadn't been talking to people yet, didn't know, but I wanted warm leads and to call and to talk to them. But, it's just great to get that minimum viable product out there, do something like that, make some sloppy action, but I had nothing. And that's what I had to start with. So I had this idea of giving back because I went to some presenter. I forget which one. It doesn't necessarily matter. There's so many. I'm just thirsty for information in this world. But it was the Summit of Greatness. So it was Lewis Howes has this Summit of Greatness podcast, huge, like 1,400 people that he's interviewed and really powerful. It's called the School of Greatness podcast. And he has a Summit of Greatness where he grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Sunny Ohio. And so it was just a quick drive. Most amounting loving people I've ever seen there. It's like it's a prerequisite that you're going to hug whoever's next to you, like every day, all the time, meeting so many people. But the message that he gave that really stuck with me was that you're perfectly positioned to help the person you once were. So it's a marketing term, basically, perfectly positioned. I am the best person to help the person that I once was. Tell my story, inspire them, tell them how to get out of that situation. So I wanted to help everyone that had no money, no credit, no experience, get them from zero to infinity. So that's why I'm starting this whole podcast, this whole series of videos, this whole just inspirational training. It's all free. I just want to give that out to the world, you guys, and just take them from zero to infinity, whether it's in real estate, whether it's investing, maybe it's in your life, in your relationships, in your business, but also zero to infinity, your energy. How many ways can you zero to infinity your daily life? Think about that. What aspects of your life wouldn't you want to go from zero to infinity? And if you're not at zero, awesome. Don't you still want to go to infinity at the end of the day? Don't you want your cup to be full? I mean, and you can do that. You can totally do that. And so that's why I want to start this whole zero to infinity. Like, let's go get there.
Super that is fun. Amazing. So and this is interesting because this is all just like mindset based and just simply because of the energy and how you've trained your mind to think and what you think you are capable of and what you are deserving of has allowed you to go out and just build something that otherwise wouldn't have happened had you not had that thought first or thought that you were the person that was capable of accomplishing and doing something like that. And I know we've talked a lot about mindset. We've talked a lot about energy. As a matter of fact, I don't have any tattoos, but if I was going to get a tattoo, Zach told me something a couple days ago that I would have written like right here on my hand so I could look down at it every day. But energy before action. So for everybody who's in the Elephant Challenge, who's here because they want to elevate their mindset. They want to hear and see things from a different perspective. They want to grow that mindset so they can go out there and take action and know that, hey, it's okay to fail. And not only that, not only is it okay to fail, if I get into a situation, I have Jesse, I have Zach, I have Chris. that I can go back and I can lean on. I can say, hey guys, this is a situation. This is what helped. Totally effed it up. But hey, what can I learn from this? Can we recover from this? Where's the silver lining at? Because there is a silver lining to every single situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's monetarily speaking. Sometimes you just learn lessons. You just learn ways to do it better the next day. So talk to me about that real quick. Energy before action. How can people take that concept and implement that into what they're doing and diving into real estate?
Yeah. So energy before action was something that my fiance put on a little sticky note because I had a lot of things to do. This is like my to-do list that I have with lots of things to do. It's written on all sides. It's more and more and more trying to do some crazy stuff. But she wrote the sticky on there on this exercise because I was getting very frazzled because even the elephant challenge with everything else that I was trying to do, it's like elephant challenge was taking so much time. Pace will talk so much and give so much. I'm like, I'm staying up so late. It was new to her, but I was having all this stuff going on in my life. And if you come from a place of a clouded energy or a bad negative energy, your actions are going to stem from that. They're going to spawn from that. They're going to originate from that place of clouded vision. You're not going to be able to achieve whatever you want because you won't even see it. And then if you can see it, your energy inside is going to say, but that's not for me. I'm not able to do that. And so you're going to limit yourself right from the beginning. So your results are going to be less right from the beginning because your energy is off. So finally, I gave in. She dragged me a little bit, and she took me through some exercises. And it was something where I was writing down these 26 things that came to my mind. It was actually just keep writing until you feel complete. But the page had 26 lines, or you can go on the back, but just anything that pops up that was, something that clouded your thoughts moving forward. A bad experience. You will know if you think about your past, like, this was bad. Ouch. A bad business partner, but then also think about yourself for making that decision to be with that business partner. So all of those things down, put them all down. And then after that, it was an exercise of going through some things, saying things like, I forgive you. I'm sorry. Thank you for that experience. And I love you for that because I've learned those lessons now. And there's some breath work in between. So you actually feel all of those, visualize talking to that business partner, visualize talking to yourself in the past and saying, I forgive you. I'm sorry, but thank you. And I love you. I wouldn't be here without you. I love you. I love you. And then it just after that whole thing, it's like, wow. All of a sudden, like, I feel like I can just take on the world just after that one little exercise. It was amazing. And so, yeah, my fiance is just full of it. She's an energy healer. Literally, she can just tune into people and what's going wrong with them, find things out, and just clear blockages. Like you're clearing snow in the north here. It's just like, more snow. She's just like, yep, come on. And let's get a plow. Why are we using a shovel? Let's get a plow. Or even better, why don't we use magic to clear it? Because that changes how you think you're going to clear snow. Let's just use magic. How about magic? Why not try magic for a little bit? So, in real estate, it's the same thing. You're going to get into bad partners. If you have that bad mindset, you'll end up attracting that. If you feel like one of the things I had to work through, that I couldn't trust people, even after having these bad partnerships, I feel like, now I know I'm a little wiser. I'd be hesitant to trust people. No. Because you just have to lead with love, find those people that you relate with, and then it's not, can we work together? It's how many ways can we work together at that point? So it's just changing it. It's just the whole approach was wrong. My energy was all wrong behind it. I was coming from a protected energy, so I would walk into some place and be like, I don't know if I can trust you. And then I would probably feel a little shy, probably wouldn't want to network as much with people, wouldn't want to talk to people about whatever it was about real estate that I really love talking about. But I wasn't going to talk to them because I was gun shy of certain things. So I was putting out a bad energy. So of course they didn't want to talk to me. Even that whole thing, it's like, I'm shy. So, nobody wants to talk to me anyway. Well, because I'm acting like no one wants to talk to me. Yet go out there and just talk to people and network or whatever it is you want to do. But you have to get over that mindset, And so I'm excited to give some tools about that. I'm excited to work with my fiance and just share a lot of those techniques, that specifically real estate people can use, because we have to clear that all ahead. If we want to move on in this world, we want to get these goals, you have to trick yourself to be magical every day, because you're going to have something new that comes up. You're going to have a problem that comes up, but it's a matter of, what have I done to prepare myself for this? And what am I going to do instantly when something pops up? And then afterwards, if there's still detriment from that, how do I clear that out of my way? And I'm sure my fiance would tell you there's many more steps in that, but only just distill it down to that. But it's just before, it's right when it happens, and then it's afterwards, so that we can just move on in our lives. And otherwise you get stuck. Yeah, energy attracts your tribe. I love that, man. Devon, hey buddy. So tons of fun. It makes anything possible with real estate. You have to continually be consistent with what you do, even with your energy, every day. And if you neglect your energy, just like everything else, if you neglect your workout, you will gain weight. You will get sluggish. You will not feel good. It's the same thing with your energy. Just like with real estate, if you get out of it and you don't keep honing your craft, keep up with everything, you might be doing things that, we should have been doing years ago, not what we have to do right now, because the market is different now than it was a year ago, right? Everyone in the room, you guys all know that, right? You have to do something different now, right? But that's why it's so cool, because right now are all the really fun strategies where you can get money from nothing. You can make them from nothing. It's a lot easier. And everyone, is a little more afraid because interest rates going up. But I get so excited every day. The interest rate goes up more and more. The Fed is one of my favorite people at the moment, because they make all these things possible. And everyone is cursing them out, putting bad energy towards them. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. I love you. I also like when interest rates are low. But it's that mindset. Let's get excited about what's right in front of us, because it's low-hanging fruit. And a lot of people are running the opposite direction.
Absolutely. And I think as we continue moving forward, especially over the next several years, I think creative finance is going to be more pivotal than possibly ever before. So, I love everything that you said. And I love that quote. I am in the position to help who I was, or who I used to be. That was basically the premise of it. But can you repeat that so I can make sure that I have it verbatim?
Yeah. I'm perfectly positioned to help the person I once was.
I love that.
Perfectly positioned.
When you say that, dude, I think about other people who are in this Elephant Challenge, people who are on this Zoom, people who were a few chapters behind me, where I was, a few years ago. And not only that, man, I think about my kids. I've got 4 kids, all under the age of 7. And it's interesting because we're having this conversation about positive energy and love and mindset. And I had an interesting, I think I may have shared this with you, Zach, but for everybody else who doesn't know, I had an interesting experience earlier this year with my son. This was in, I think it was in January, actually. He was 6 at the time, and he had just lost a tooth. And he came out from his bedroom the next day, and he's holding this $1, and he's like, Dad, I got a $1 from the Tooth Fairy. I'm like, Miles, dude, that is freaking awesome, man. That's amazing. What are you going to do with that $1? Now, thankfully, he wasn't in the mindset like you were like, all right, I need to get all this money. Well, maybe I can, the Tooth Fairy is my person. Maybe I should start pulling my teeth.
My first lender, right? Pull your teeth.
Yeah. Oh my daughter started thinking like that. But he came out with this $1, man. And he's like, I'm like, Miles, what are you going to do with that, bro? And he's like, Dad, I want to learn how to invest it. How do I turn this into more money? How do I make more money? And I just wanted to melt right there. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's been paying attention. If any of you are parents, you guys understand this. Your kids are always watching you. They're repeating the things that you're saying. They're repeating the things that you're doing. And, you don't really realize it, or you don't really consider it until they start doing that shit. It's almost like, it's like the first time you hear your kid cuss. They're like, oh shit. And you're like, what? Where the hell did you hear that? It's a little obvious, but the point is just that he's been watching, he's been paying attention. He's been seeing, you know, the spouse that my wife had even 6 months ago is not the same person. I'm not the same person.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody who wasn't clear, the spouse is me. My wife doesn't have another spouse. That's a different person. Just so everybody's clear, I'm not the same person, right? My kids don't have the same father, which is again me. You know, that they used to have. So it's neat that they're picking up on this mindset. They're picking up on this energy. They're seeing the relationships that I have with individuals. They're seeing what I'm doing, the value, you know, that we're bringing to people and that we're helping people with, and understanding all these concepts. And so I bought a book for my kids called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And so we've been going through this book, and we read it a handful of times every year because there's so many good nuggets in there. And, you know, it talks about things like taking responsibility, right? Some of the things we talked about a little earlier. No one's coming to save you. It's up to you to make those decisions, to become that one in your family that changes the entire trajectory for generations. It's up to you. And so we go through things like that. We go through having a state of gratitude, being present, living in the moment, and you know, serving people. And this was really interesting because he approached me and wanted to learn all this stuff. So I bought this book. We're going through it. Now, here's what's interesting, Zach, is 3 or 4 days later, after I had purchased this book for my son and my daughter, we have a power outage here in Alaska. And it was really, really bad. And stores, like the roofs and stuff on some of the stores we have were being blown off. Semis were being dumped over on the highway. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And so naturally the power went out. Now, I don't know, Zach, I know you're going to come up here in the winter. But if for everybody else who hasn't been up to Alaska during the winter, like, it is dark. It's dark. You rarely see the sun. And so it's even worse when you're in Alaska in the middle of winter without any power. It's kind of intimidating. And so my daughter, who was 5 at the time, you know, she was kind of scared. And so my wife is a nurse. She works nights. So she went to the hospital, and it's just me and our 4 kids. And we're kind of just sitting around the fireplace. That's the only thing that's, you know, somewhat keeping us warm and kind of lighting the room. And before I send my kids to bed, we were just kind of saying family prayers together. And my daughter wanted to say it. My 5-year-old wanted to say it. And Zach, this is just absolutely crazy what she said, man. But she started the prayer and said, Heavenly Father, thank you for this power outage because it gives me the chance to be brave. I'm like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? This was amazing. Completely unsolicited. This was completely unprovoked. You know, and you know, my kids are just soaking this up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe that this is actually happening right now. But it's interesting that she, at such a young age, and so soon after having these conversations about mindset and perception and leaving with value and positive energy and serving people, like that she understood it at such a young age. And so when you said, you know, I'm in the position to help the person I once was, you know, I'm thinking like my kids. Yeah. You know, and the value that they're going to be able to, and then the position that they're going to be in terms of learning about money and servanthood leadership and leveraging that and financial freedom and living a magical life. You know, they, I don't want them to be, I don't know. Zach, did you grow up doing chores at all?
Yeah, did you get
paid for doing chores?
Well, I got $2 at the end of the week for doing chores.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got $7.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, right? I got paid a little bit for doing my chores. Yeah. And I would take that money and I'd go to, you know, sports events if the high school had a game that weekend or something, you know, I'd use that money and go, you know, to some of the games or, you know, go buy a new Metallica CD or something like that with it. And it was interesting because my line of thought, how I grew up, you know, in terms of thinking about money and working and things like that, at such a young age, I was, you know, so in the mindset of doing chores to get money. If I needed money to go to the football game with my friends that Friday, my initial mindset was, oh, well, I need to go ask my dad if I can vacuum out his car or clean the house or do the dishes or something like that so I can get some money. Yeah. And then as I got into my teens, what do we all do? What do we all do as teenagers?
Yeah, we get a job, right?
Well, we don't. $7 a week ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So we go get a job.
Yeah.
And then we graduate high school.
Mm.
And then we go on and we, go to college and spend time, working for the man. And then, spend the rest of our life working 40 to 50 years, 40, 50 hours a week. And then hopefully retire in our 60s or 70s. That was kind of the mindset that I grew up in. And probably a lot of you watching can resonate with that. And it's interesting because since my kids approached me earlier this year and we've been doing these things, we've been having these conversations. Of course, now my how I'm raising my kids is they do chores, obviously, because they live here, but I'm not paying them to do chores.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying them to read these kinds of books and have these types of conversations with me.
Love it. And
so now when me and Chris are buying properties and Chris needs my share of $500 or $1,000 or whatever for earnest money, I can go borrow that money from my 6-year-old, send it to Chris, we close on it, and now they get $700 or $800 back.
That's so cool.
On the backside. So now their mindset moving forward isn't, when they get in their teens, it's not, hey, I need to go wash dad's truck or I need to do some chores around the house. I want their mindset to be directly tied to, hey, dad, what do you have going on? Do you have anything I can invest in? I'm trying to get a car. I'm trying to blah, 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 whatever that is. They're already looking because they understand money far beyond anything I certainly did when I was their age.
Wow.
So I just look at where, I just love what you said, man. Like we're 0 to infinity right now. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be limited to just people who are starting in real estate or wanting to get started in real estate. I mean, as you can see, I'm having these conversations with my 5-year-old and 6-year-old who are now 6 and 7. And it's just interesting the impact that it's having, man. It's amazing.
Inspiring. It's
like magic, dude. It really is.
That's inspiring. I think everyone should do that. And so if anyone has any kids that has extra money around, if we have earnest money needs, they could lend some money for that. But that's so awesome, man. Your kids are going to be powerhouses, right? Love that. Can't wait to see them. Can't wait to see them grow up too. And I'm excited that I'm going to be able to see them grow up. I'll tell you that genuinely. That's so cool. I'm going to have to pop out some of my own, not from me personally, but however I figure that out, I don't know. But yeah, no, that's phenomenal. That's amazing. That's so amazing. I love that. That fills my heart.
I wanted to ask you something. What is one of your biggest failures that you've had? And what's kind of the biggest lessons you've taken from that?
Biggest failures.
Yeah, because I just trying to think, man. Like when I was getting in here, like I processed failure differently. I'm 32 now. I was 29 when I first got into this. And kind of like, we were talking about with my kids, like I grew up thinking about things a certain way. I grew up thinking about failure a certain way. And part of this process from being the person that we are to being that person that we're capable of becoming, there's this transformation we all have to go through. We all have to go through it. And part of that is learning how to process information differently. It's very mindset centered. Mm-hmm. And I had to undo 29 years worth of thinking about failure a certain way. And so, you've been doing this real estate thing far beyond, what I've been doing it 3 or 4 times longer than I have. How have you processed failure and turned that into the Zac that you are today, man?
Yeah. Wow. So it happens all the time. But the one that stands out, that's most salient, that crosses all of my thoughts to summarize them is just, I was very shy when I was growing up. I was very shy. I would, not really want to socialize with other kids. I'm half introverted, half extroverted. I can get drained and fueled by doing both. If I do either too much, it'll hurt. But I was shy. Because I had my own things in my head of what was going on. I'm a thinker, think all the time. So I must know what you're thinking the whole time. And I put people on a pedestal like, you're so cool, Jesse. You'd never want to hang out with me, man. You'd never want to hear what I had to say. That was my inner voice when I was growing up. Because it just came from a space of, well, we have less than other people. So probably they have more interesting things to talk about. They probably have more interesting games they play. Everything of everyone else is more, because what I learned about us was less, that we just had less. So it was that mindset where I would even talk to some of my friends later in life and, being like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, wow, you're so cool now. We have such a good time talking. I was like, yeah, I didn't really, I wouldn't really engage as much growing up. They're like, yeah, we thought you were kind of stuck up, always sitting in the corner, thinking you're all better than everyone else. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I thought I was worse than everyone else. And you thought I was thinking that I was better than somebody else? Oh. That's just the whole thing where everyone has their own story that's going on in their head. And it's from their past traumas. They're trying to figure out, how do I deal with this situation right now based on everything that's happened to me in the past? So I have to figure out what you're thinking without asking you. Why don't I just ask you? No. I'm going to figure that out so I don't get hurt. And in doing so, I end up hurting myself because I don't have any of those conversations with people. All those opportunities are blown away. So, actually going out there, learning that, getting over that, getting blown away when my own friends were like, no, we thought you were thinking you were better than everybody else. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, then I just got to start over. I got to go back to zero because I don't even know what the heck I'm thinking anymore, but it's clearly not right. Right. So it's like, how many ways can I think about things differently? How many ways can I program my mind not to create these stories and put them out into the world? And so I was just on a journey of searching for that. And I've found a lot of different techniques along the way, and I've created some different techniques and tools. And I've also enrolled lots of people in possibilities, just talking about creating possibilities with people, inspiring that, putting love out into the world. And then my fiance, proposing to her because she exemplifies everything with that. And she blows my mind all the time with all of those different things, those getting over those blockages that we have in our head, getting over all of those clouds, those stories, acknowledging when we hear ourselves say certain words. We have a little saying in here where it's just cast happy spells. So every word that we say is a spell because our subconscious and our unconscious are listening to that, right? We mentioned that in the beginning, but it's listening to that. So we're casting those spells. So why say something shitty? Why say something shitty to someone else? Why say someone shitty to yourself? Say something great to yourself. Say something great to other people, because then you're also teaching your mind that the world is great, that the world is full of possibilities. And why don't I want to help you out? Because magic happens too. And who knows, magic might be right around the corner with a can of Silly Spring. So, right? I mean, it's so fun. It's so fun. But getting over all of those blockages, keeping on track of what you're doing every day, it's just getting out there, because it's those blockages that limited me from networking with other people, from actually sharing all of this with other people. That's why I really haven't been on social media until about a month ago. I mean, putting a lot of content out there because still I had other blockages that I'm continually working through, right? To just get out there. And originally it was the story of nobody wants to hear what I'm saying. There's all these amazing people like Pace Morby out in the world. Why would they want to hear what I'm saying? So it was just, it's getting over. It was really that, that you're perfectly positioned to help the person you once were. It's like, okay, well then, shucks. That guy said that I'm the person that I should help other people, so it must be true. It can't come from my head in some of those times where it's so difficult sometimes to get out of your own head. It's so easy to notice in your friends, right? You ever see it in friends, like, why are you acting that way? Why are you saying that? How come you're doing the same thing? It's so easy to notice it in other people, but never ourselves, because we have so many little things that are just tripping us up, that are just wanting us to feel safe. It's that safety of that old story in our head so that we don't go out and try something new, to try and mess up, because the brains are like, I don't want to fail. I don't want to have this chaos to happen in my life. But without failing, you're not trying hard enough. So it's just, you got to learn your lesson, move on, and get over yourself. And it's so easy as a friend to tell you, like, just do it. Just come out and hang out. Stop being shy. Stop being, thinking that you can't make money. Stop thinking that you can't get into real estate. Start thinking that you can. And then you can start thinking, well, now how many ways can I? And then instead of learning how to do it, just figure out who I should be talking about. So there's so many mindset shifts that have to happen, but it's baby steps. It's baby steps to train the mind, but you have to do it every day. Just like you have to work out every day. Just like if you want to get a deal, you got to work every day towards getting that deal, whatever that task is that you must do. And sometimes we'll put off tasks because we like that little endorphin rush from doing stupid little tasks, whatever that is. Even if it's just, I'm going to clean the house, or I'm going to clean my desk off first, and then I'm going to work. Right? Any little thing that you get really excited about. I'm going to go work out first because then I'll be in the mindset. But then, you might just work out so darn much because you're just procrastinating. I'm just going to work out, and then I'm going to get into real estate. No. So it's intention. As you said that in the beginning, being intentional with every single thing that you do is key. It's really key. And so you have to be intentional about your energy. You have to manifest whatever you want in this world. That manifestation of it, that's the magic, is it can just appear from around the corner. You manifest it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like I feel like I manifested pace a little bit in my life just because I kept doing, but it's like I had to learn the lessons that I had to learn so that I could go out to find him. He was there. And I tried doing things 10 years ago. Let's get everybody together. Let's all work together as a team. Let's be loving. Let's be caring. There's people that don't. That's fine. Get out of the tribe. Happy, loving people come here. And, we were doing good things, but it's so much better when it's huge. Because it's like that snowball that just keeps going and going and going. And we have a huge snowball right now with this elephant challenge, with pace, with everything, with you guys doing this every week, every Saturday, helping out. Oh my gosh. So I'm so grateful for you guys, each of you, Jesse, Christopher Earl, everybody. So grateful. You guys, Carly, to your parents for raising you the way they did, for everyone else that brought you through all your trials and tribulations to right here. I'm so grateful for my ex-wife, who we're divorced now. But I love her. I'm thankful for her because I would not be here with you guys right now if it weren't for her spawning me to get to do something else, which is to find real estate. And since I had all of her debt, I had destroyed credit. Wow, I wouldn't have gotten all those awesome techniques how to buy without using your own credit, because I might have had credit, but I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't have money. So I was forced to find these awesome tactics that you can make lots of money from none of your own money. So all my deals now, I am emphatic about not using my own money, not using my own credit, because that's what I use as my criteria. Everyone around me knows that. Oh, well, Zach's not going to invest in this deal. Well, I'm going to invest in a different way. I will invest my time, my knowledge, my skills, my processes that I put in place, my documents, my systems, everything. There's tons of investment. All these degrees, 5 degrees behind me in so many things. It's all an investment. But goodness, can I please just not use money? We can find somebody else with money, because no matter how much money I have in this world, it's going to run out if I use it. And I will not be able to scale. Doesn't matter if I have $10, $1,000, $1 million, it's going to run out. And so what do I do when that runs out? Now I'm going to have a scarcity mindset, and I'm going to get all frustrated, and then I'm not going to attract money anymore, because I'm coming from a mindset that's clouded. It's from scarcity. So when I come from an abundancy, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to use my own money. That's all right. I've got tons of techniques on how to do things without money. Let's talk about it. I could talk for days about all the different techniques, all the different ways, and get really excited about it, because it is magic. And when people don't know how it works, it looks just like magic. But then when you pick it apart, it's not. It's information. It's the right people that know how. And it's just systems, processes, information. It's things that humans made at the end of the day. It's not magic. But getting there will feel like magic to you. And that's pretty cool.
That is pretty neat, man. I love what you said, man. It's so important in order to maintain an abundance mindset. Like I remember when I first kind of started getting into mindset and energy and all that kind of stuff, man. People I've heard this before. This isn't something that was just so out of the blue that you never heard before, but I always heard people say, stay in the present. Because the future causes anxiety. The past will cause you depression. And it's so important just to stay in the present. And I never understood that until, earlier this year on that level that I'm talking about. And when you're not worried about rent, when you're not worried about the things of the past, when you're not worried how you're going to do this, and you are just present and in a state of abundance, in a state of gratitude, silver lining to everything. I learned something here. I made money here. It's almost like when you go, purchase a new car. Like if you're going to go purchase a new, like I'm on the hunt for a new Chevy 2500. And so I'm starting to see like a Silverado 2500 like everywhere now. Like I see them on the roads. I see them parked at Target. I see them when I go to Walmart. I see them everywhere. And that's how I think that's how things are manifested in our life, man. When you're in that state of abundance and when you're in the state of being in the present, if I was worried or stressed about money or things that were causing me anxiety or relationships or whatever it was, all of these opportunities, the opportunity to be here with you and Chris today, the opportunity for us to come in and provide value to people and to make money with each other and with everybody else in here would have just been completely bypassed because I would have been living in a completely different state, man. And when you're present, when you're grounded, when you're in a state of abundance, that's when you notice those things, man. That's when you start noticing that car that you're wanting to buy. It's like, oh my gosh, hey, there it is. Hey, there it is. Hey, there it is. Hey, there it is. That's when you have the blinders on. And that's when you're looking for those opportunities. You know, when somebody, you brought it up earlier, when I first found out that you don't need money to invest in real estate, I was like, what? That's a scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you start looking for those opportunities, they're literally everywhere. Literally everywhere. It's crazy how big just mindset and being in abundance and surrounded by this community will impact and aid in your success. I'm a firm believer, man. The biggest thing to aid in anybody's success is 100% always going to come back to community. So I really appreciate you saying that, man.
Thanks. And yeah, when you don't have that mindset of things, you're going to just end up making decisions from something else, not even going towards something, but you're just going to make a decision and then it just stops everything that you're doing. So, there's wonderful questions in here. I lost focus this week, had to press the reset button. Listen to some of these comments. How do you get in that state when you have all those worries? Jelly beans, the name of the person in here. I don't know, but making the comment. But yeah, those are awesome questions. It's how many ways do you get into that state when you have all those worries? Yeah, not just how. So yeah, how many ways can you do that? I'd love to share some things with you guys. I'd love to share. Yeah, I don't know what your guys' plans for the rest of this. I kind of have a hard stop at 3:15, just to let you know, Eastern time.
Okay.
Originally, I wasn't going to be able to be here because I have a wedding that I have to go to. So it's like literally we're going to run to that. My clothes are all set upstairs. It's going to be like this fast thing where I might even change in the car if I have my fiance driving. That's okay, right? We'll make it there. But I didn't want to miss this for the world. I was so excited when we were talking about this just early in the week, and it's like, no, I want to give this to the world. I need to get out here.
So, we appreciate you being here, man. Thank you very much for taking the time. Are we going to expect you on like the premiere of Wedding Crashers 2? Is that what this is? Zach's all bouncing to weddings and crashing them.
Yeah, hopefully we go to the right one because I think we have an invite. But I'll tell you that I've never met the bride and groom. So,
well, silver lining, dude. Either way, it's gonna be abundant.
Yes,
I can tell you that abundant. For sure. I love it, bro. I love it. Well, real quick, before I wrap up, what did you have? Do you have any advice? How do you get in that state? I love that you're so specific with your words, Zach, and I love that.
Yeah,
because you're first instinctively, dude. You were like, well, how many ways do we get in that state?
Yeah,
right? I think visualization.
I've trained my mind at this point. to do things like that. So how do you train your mind to, how many ways do you train your mind to do things? And you hear certain things. I'll hear myself saying negativity like, oh, I am not good at social media, or I am not good at networking. Anything that you cast on yourself that you say you're not good, I'm like, instantly, you should just red flag, stop yourself. No, change it. I used to be not good at, I was not good at. I am constantly improving now, and I'm getting better at these things every day. I'm going to be great at it. In fact, I'm a lot greater at social media. I'm a lot greater at networking. And then you're just like, wow, now that I say those things, it's like, no, I'm great at it. I'm great at it. And so sometimes it takes, even with the things that you tell yourself, it takes little steps. So you need these building blocks. Instead of saying that, I'm going to be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever you want, have these things, just start to step back a little bit and maybe put some training wheels on and say things like, I am capable of being a millionaire. Just that little subtle shift. There's subtle shifts that you can do in little affirmations. And I say affirmations to myself every morning and every night. And I've got different routines that I do every day, every morning, every night. It's just like working out. And just, you got to get in that type of mindset to do those things. And so, yeah, I don't mind sharing what I use with you guys, because it's something that, I've spent years developing, and I've been using it just to continually make it better. And it's just, I didn't find it out in the world. And it's all these different books that you read, 5 a.m. morning, any of these types, any of these books that you can latch onto. It's like, oh, those are great strategies. But then this is a great strategy, and that's a great strategy. All these books, let's try and put them all on one sheet that we use every day that's right in front of us. And so that's basically a sheet that I use that I've now iterated one more time. So it has even more mantras in it, things that we can just share with everyone here, because I love everyone in the world. You guys don't know me yet, but you're knowing about me now. So I love you. So now you do know me. And so I would hope that you guys love me too, because I just want you to have every single thing that I have in this world, so that you can just get over that mindset, do awesome things, because then you're going to say, okay, Zach, what do I do next? And I'll be like, oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited. All right, I want to tell you then. I want to give that to you next. I want to do all of that. Your mind is just your limiting factor. So let's get over that. Let's have fun. Let's do big things.
I love that, bro. Amazing. Amazing. Do you have, real quick, let's go around. Let's do a round. Zach, let's just start with you. What is one book that you would recommend for somebody to elevate their mindset?
So, I mean, the biggest one that just comes to mind is that yellow book right now of Who Not How. And the reason why Who Not How is so powerful for me is because you look at these pieces of paper that I have behind me. I was the person who always thought how. If I just learned more how I could do something, then I would do it. And I was the shy person. So guess what I naturally did not want to do? The last thing that I fucking wanted to do, I'm sorry, but the last thing I wanted to do was go out there and put myself and make myself vulnerable to people and network with people, talk with people, because it was a limiting mindset that I had that I didn't have the tools to clear that out yet. So I was I'm trying to figure something out. And it's just getting to the point where it's like, okay, no, the world has the answers, just like the world has the money. You don't have to have it. So just find those awesome people that you jive with, that you relate to in this world, that your heart just sings when you're around them, that fuel you up with energy, and then work with them. If they're great at whatever they are and you need that, well, work with them, because if they're loving and kind like that, my gosh, they're gonna relate to you, and then they're gonna want to give it to you, just like you want to give it to them, and you're just eager to reciprocate that love, that appreciation. And so for me, it might be completely like everyone, other people might say, oh, well, that was easy for me. I've always been that type of person. It wasn't for me. So that was a huge book, and there's lots of them, but that's the one that comes right to mind, man.
I love that one, bro. I love that one. Thank you. Chris, what do you got, man? What's one book that stands out to you, man? If people are in here looking to elevate their circumstances, their mindset, the people that they're working with and networking with and jiving with, what would you recommend off the top of your head? What are you thinking?
Power of More by Ed Milet.
The Power of One More. Oh my gosh, dude!
Phenomenal book. Phenomenal
book. Easily one of my probably top 3 that I've read this year.
Absolutely.
Was there anything specifically that stood out that resonated with you, or?
Yeah, absolutely. It all relates back to mindset. Initially, if you just keep going and thinking, just do one more, just do it. Just literally do it. You got to keep pushing yourself. If you literally keep setting a standard to, I'm only going to do this for a certain amount of time, you're not going to get to what you're really trying to achieve. It's not going to happen. And one thing I literally do on a daily basis, I push myself. I put myself in uncomfortable positions. I continue to do all these great things that even when I don't think is great, I push myself further to see exactly how tough can I really be. Because initially, the only one that's really in your way is yourself. If you look in the mirror on a daily basis, you're really stopping your own self on your destiny. You're letting a lot of people down, specifically from one, helping others. There's a lot of people that have goals, a lot of people that have objectives, but for me specifically, just an example, if I want $10,000 a month, I'm letting my family down. Is that really enough? That's being selfish. That's really being selfish. Can I live on $10,000 a month? 100%. But at the same time, I want to change the cycle. I want to do one more. Like I want 10 times that $10,000, whatever that may look like. And again, that's just an example. But what I'm gearing to, just make sure you always push yourself. And even when you think it might be too tough, keep going. You just never know what you're going to actually never perceive in regards to the outlook. I would never thought today I'll be on the Zoom with my business partner, Jesse Stanton, and also Zach. From where I was a year ago, totally a 360. Totally a 360. And literally, if you guys change your mindset, just where you could be in 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's a game changer. That's why I don't sleep 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day. I don't. A lot of people may not know it, but I'm going on 3 hours of sleep right now. And a lot of coffee. But 100%, just keep pushing yourself. It always relates back to mindset. It just, if someone's telling you that you can't do it, you need to delete them out your life.
Do it twice and take pictures.
But yeah, The Power of One More from Ed Milet. That's definitely a great one. If you don't,
I can definitely see that, Chris. Like, for those of you guys who don't know, like, I don't think like Chris is being modest, man. Like I don't know anybody that works harder than Chris. Like Chris is the type of person that he purposefully goes out and does something to make himself uncomfortable, like every freaking day. Like, and we've talked about this before, but for everybody who doesn't know, like, I like, for example, I got really into fitness when I got deployed, 9 years ago or whatever. And then that's when I got introduced to intermittent fasting and all this other kind of thing. So I'm not a stranger to fasting for 18 hours a day as an example, but Chris does it one more. He takes it to the next level just to see if he can do it for no other reason than just to see how he can elevate his mindset, how to get uncomfortable. Right off the get-go, one day, me and our other business Colin, we were all on a phone, and Chris is like, guys, I'm going to fast for 21 days. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, man. Like every single day, like he's fasting and then he takes on one more, like it's one more deal. It's one more phone call. And it doesn't, like, it never even ends with just one more with Chris though. That's what's so stinking neat to see him and to be here as his business partner, and just, he makes one more phone call. And then when he's done with that, he's like, well, it's not midnight yet. Who gives a shit? Let's call somebody else. And he does one more. And then it's one more after that. Like it's so incredible, man. So I can definitely see that. Thank you very much for sharing that. That is just so stinking cool. I think for me, somebody posted it up here. I'm going to go ahead and assume this was Carlin. Declare war on yourself. This was absolutely phenomenal for me. And it really helped elevate my mindset in terms of what I'm capable of and how to process certain things. Think of it, and I really resonated with this because I did almost 14 years in the Air Force, and so the premise of it is just to go absolutely bonkers with your self-development. Just go out and cause as much chaos as you can. But we're not here just being reckless about it, right? If you were to go to war, we don't just go to war without a plan. Okay, everything has intention behind it. Every little movement, every little is very carefully and meticulously planned out and executed. And when we're elevating ourselves, our circumstances, the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, we have to have a plan. It has to be meticulously executed. And it starts with little things like being intentional with our time blocking. If you can't submit 5 offers a day for the Elephant Challenge, then what does your time look like every single day? Well, do you have a W-2? Are you working 8 hours a day? Are you working 12 hours a day? Guess what, guys? Millionaires don't complain about time. If 80% of millionaires are self-made, odds are that those same people are facing the same challenges that all of us are facing today. Okay, Chris, Zach, and I, we're not coming to you guys as experts here. We're coming to you guys as practitioners. We're on the same journey. We're here along with you guys. And we have to declare war on ourselves, but we have to do it with intention. We have to be meticulously executing our self-development, our growth. And it comes back to what Zach has been talking about this entire meeting is community. Being in here. Squatting up. So anyway, Zach, do you have any parting thoughts? Where can people find you? Where can people follow you? See what you're doing? I mean, I know that we've talked about doing some really big and neat things, man. Where can people see that process as you continue moving forward, man?
Yeah, well, so I mean, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, but I have something to share with everyone if you'd like.
Oh, please.
Right,
that would be amazing, bro.
Yeah. So something that I use in my day to day that literally it's hacking my life, making my life more happy, awesome, making me more productive and focused, and which might change my focus from week to week, but it helps me manifest. It's literally, I call it my daily manifesting matrix. Would you be interested in seeing that?
Oh, please.
Maybe? Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I would love to see this.
All right. Calm down. Here we go. Here, let me see if I can share this screen of mine. Here we go. All right. All right. So you're looking at this here. This is my manifesting matrix. So it's something I use every day. I can just circle it, put my date on. But then if you have a to-do list, get rid of your to-do list right now. If you just have a piece of paper that you're writing on, get rid of that. That is not serving you at all. In fact, it's doing the opposite. This is a priority matrix that's right in here. So you're going to end up putting your tasks from your to-do list in your mind, whatever, onto this. And it's going to tell you, and I leave little tricks in here so it reminds you things that you should do immediately, things that you should do soon, a whole box that you should delegate out as soon as possible, and then another one where you got to delete it or move it. And so let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more on this. But so every week can put your focus on here. It might be money. It might be networking. It might be get this business going. It might be finally get into real estate. Right? And then from there, all the tasks to complete that, you can either categorize them as in this column, things that you need to do now to do it, or things that you should do later. They're not as critical at the moment to do them. You don't have to. It's a time dependency on it. But then these lines, is it crucial to your success, or is it something that's on the side of your success? It's something that, it's something I have to do, posting to social media so that we can get more people involved or something. It's not necessarily crucial at the time, but doing deals, doing something with that, it's crucial. And so you'll end up putting your tasks within these, and once you learn to separate them like that, then you can very quickly say, no, all right, well, those little tasks that give me endorphin rushes, I don't have to do them right now. I can do them later. So they're going to end up over here. So then you're only going to focus on the ones that are crucial and doing them now. And these ones that aren't crucial, man, as soon as possible, you got to delegate, get a VA, get someone else to help you out, someone that you can pay $7 an hour, someone that's a business partner starting up with you, anyone to get into it. Split up your time and do what you do best, but get focused on your weekly goal and do these ones. And then within here, I put a little note on here, do the urgent ones first. Super urgent. You got to make this call because everything kind of cascades after that call. You have to do something that's just burning your urgent list. Just do it, because then guess what? You're swallowing the frog. There's a whole book on swallow that frog in the morning. And it's the concept of get rid of that big thing first, because then everything else is easier. It makes it a lot easier at that point. So then you work on the important ones next. But once you start prioritizing your to-do list, you turn it into this priority matrix, then you can focus. And then you know whether you're working on the right things or not. So this is your new to-do list. New to-do list. And then this part, this is my morning. It used to say recurring tasks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds so horrible. It's the one that I had used for years and years and years. And I just changed this last week. So it says happy morning, because what the heck, even a morning routine, no one likes a routine. Why not just trick our mind? We have to read happy. Guess what we're going to feel right when we wake up? Happier. We're reading that. And at first you might be resistant to it, but you'll get there. You'll get there. Right. But so this is literally like, all right, wake up, because I was in a time in my life where I was down and depressed, and I was nice just to put a little checkbox that I woke up, but I could keep track of my time that I woke up, kept track of my time over here that I went to bed. So at least I was starting to hold myself accountable, and then I would put my daily tasks in here, and I would have my affirmations. Remember, energy before action. This is the new tattoo we're going to get on Jesse if we get over so many viewers. How many viewers do we need for you to get a tattoo of this?
Oh, love it. Love it. Let's do it, man.
Things that you're grateful for, just writing those down in the morning. It's wonderful, wonderful things. You feel happy before you even start your day. And the same thing with your night, doing certain things. And, this is a little hack that I do. It's, what am I looking forward to the next morning? What am I looking forward to do tomorrow?
I love
Think about that. Feel that in something. Check that off, because, all right, I look forward to this call. That's what I did yesterday. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm so excited to be here with you on that call because of that. So this is something. Oh, and then if you don't know and figure out what your why is yet in life, it's nice to have that right as you're looking at your to-do list. Like, should I do this? Boom, my why is right there. My focus is up here, but my why is okay. I'm going to do it. You get rid of excuses because it's right here staring you in your face. So I'll give you a little, now here's one that, I put in my items that I use in the morning. Like right when I wake up, I'll chug a whole bunch of water. I'll go through the affirmations that I have that I put in there, do a little gratitude journaling in there. I mix some protein in with my coffee, makes it all fluffy and frothy and happy. And I get some protein and energy, and I'll work out a little bit real quick. I'll power pose just because, well, we will talk about that another day, but there's so many studies about that. I use Blinkist to read books real quickly, the summaries of them, and then I want to write the lessons that I've learned from that right before I forget them. Then I'm going and filling out my priority matrix, filling that out if I haven't done that. All right. And these are some self-care things. These are things that I would put in that I get excited to do, like things that I'm trying to get, and I want them in my life. So they're staring me in my face. I'm a decent cook, but I don't work well without a recipe book because of it's all the cool things that I've learned over time, that I know how to make a good Thai restaurant, like a Thai recipe. I've learned those, but I need those little things. You might not be aware of them because our minds are not meant to remember things. Our minds are meant to process things. So yeah, I get fueled by a walk, anything out in nature, love running, always trying to just meditate a little bit more. But then, at your night, things that you do there, spending quality time with my family. By the way, my why is my parents and just helping other people. I love my parents. I'm so grateful for what they gave me. I want to give them the world. And it's also everybody else. I want to give that too as well. Right. But all these little mantras, even my first one, I'm the master of my thoughts. I control my thoughts. I tell myself that every day. I repeat that because guess what? I'm priming my thoughts for whatever I want my thoughts to be.
Wow.
How easy is that then? Right. And then at the end of the day, it almost rhymes too much, but it's like, I've done my best for today. I've earned my rest for today. I've put love into all my deeds. I've used kindness in all of my thoughts. I close this day with pure joy and now drift into a sound sleep. And so there's my nighttime affirmations that I'll do. And then I'm looking forward to something, and then everything with sleeping. So I got to move on. The back of this thing is really cool because on the back of the paper, I put time blocking. We just talked about that. And so notes, like things, I'll be intentional about what I'm doing. I want to sketch something, future ideas, but this is all on one page. This is all on one page that I have that I use every day, so that I can manifest things into the world every day. So you guys want this? Because I just want to give it away to you, whether you want it or not. Because if you don't take it, then whatever. So I made something so that you guys can get this. And all I ask is I want to connect with you because I want to do awesome things with everyone. So I got a little landing page, and I just want to know what you want to learn about, because I'm going to make those things for you guys and give those to you. So I'm going to just send this there. And if you just fill this out, it's just going to come right to your email. Actually, I only got that back page in just an hour ago. So you're only going to get the first page of it. But I'm going to create a video that helps show you exactly how to fill this out, to use it in your own life, how to do it in a way that's going to affect your own life. And I can't wait to hear the results from it. I want you to share the results with me because it's so freaking powerful to me that I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do with it. So I'm just going to give it to you. So I've been spending time and money on that this week just to make it something that you guys can really use and just dog food it. It's a concept from Google. They coding. They like to try their own code out on themselves. You got to eat your own dog food if you want someone else to try it. That's the dog fooding concept. And if you're not willing to eat your own dog food, then that's not a good product at the end of the day. So I want all y'all to just dog food the heck out of this thing. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what works for you on it. And I'm gonna keep teaching. Yeah.
One, thank you for sharing that with us. And two, how do they get the link? Is that something you want to drop in the chat, or is that something you want to send out via email?
How do I chat? How do I send that in the chat? Again, first time I've done this. I'm gonna send it into this thing. It says private chat. That's just to Jesse, I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will copy it and send it into the chat for everybody. Thank you very much for that, bro. I think it's important. I mean, on top of everything else that was in there, dude, I think it's important to note one of the big things you had on there was just one weekly task. You were focused on one thing and you were intentional on one thing.
You can't focus on everything at once. That's part of it, man. You can't focus on everything at once. So don't try. Change it. But like if this week we need to pay our bills, we got to focus on money then, Focus on that. If you're having problems in your life, you're like, just focus on getting over those problems, So it's just baby steps, right? How to eat an elephant. So I gotta stop though, because I'm getting yelled. I gotta get out of here. Go to this wedding. I'm gonna crash. But I love you guys so much. Can we do this? Can we do this again sometime? Can we do more?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, that's non-negotiable, bro.
Oh,
that's one of the non-negotiables on the that's the crucial. That's in the crucial task.
Okay. Well, I gotta run. I love you guys. I love everyone here. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are so freaking awesome. I'm so excited for everything we're gonna end up doing together. I can't wait. One of my goals is just this, by the end of this year, I want to help 1,000 people. So if I could get 1,000 people to download this thing, man, that's instantly my goal. And then next quarter, it was going to be 2,000, but I don't know. Linking with you guys, maybe we'll just have to double that again and make it 4,000 in the next quarter.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
Hour or one more, bro. Well, Zach, thank you so much, man. This was just crazy value. I was taking notes the entire time. This is just absolutely phenomenal. I know I'm going to go back and listen to this 2 or 3 times. So many fantastic gems, bro. I learned something from you every single time we talk, every time we connect. I am definitely better today than I was yesterday because of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother. Chris and I both appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for your time. Chris and I posted that link in I think it just went to YouTube, I think. If you guys want the link, go find Chris and I on Facebook or Instagram. Those are our handles. Zach has his IG handle back or on his name tag as well. Please go follow him. Any one of us can send you guys that link.
All right. I have to go.
Yes, sir.
I love you,
man.
Love you, Zach.
Everything, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Keep killing it.
Have a good one. Yes, sir. All right. Well, Well, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, again, please, the only fee is if you guys got value from this, if you guys learned something, if you laughed, if you cried, if you got something from it that you can go take action on it tomorrow, go tell somebody about it. Please share this. That's all that Chris and I ask. Chris, you got anything else, bro?
No, I'm getting a lot of comments on Facebook. We got to get that link out. I'm not for sure it's not connecting. The link wasn't working for some of the people. So,
Got it. Okay, cool.
But no, thank you guys for all showing up. We truly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, concerns, or any thoughts about anything that was stated today, definitely feel free to reach out to any one of us. Our Instagram handles are there. We are live on all social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, whatever that may look like, YouTube. So just reach out, and we're here to help.
Yep. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you. Oh, look at a Facebook user threw it in the Facebook chat. Again, if you guys need it, feel free to reach out to us. We can send that to you guys. And we do this for everybody who doesn't know. We do this live every single Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. We've been doing it on Zoom previously to this. So today's the first day that we're kind of transitioning, kind of getting everybody off of Zoom and into YouTube and into Facebook, because unfortunately Zoom just doesn't give us the ability to grow this the way that it needs to be. So again, really appreciate you guys being here. We are going to be streaming this again every single Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see this on mine and Chris. We're streaming this on our personal Facebook pages and the creative financing group. Anything that we can do to help you guys. If you guys need help with deals, talking and negotiating with sellers, Chris and I have buyers in all 50 states. Let us know how we can help. We got an entire community and a group full of leaders that are here to help you guys in any way that you can. If you guys don't know, if you guys need help with comping throughout the week, for example, I know that SuperMario, you guys should be able to just type in like SuperMario and go and find Mario. He is a phenomenal elephant leader, and he does these amazing accountability Zooms Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern time. And you can hit Chris and I up. We can send you guys that link as well. Actually, you know what? Let me post. I don't know if I can post it in here. Yeah, hit us up. We can send you guys that link. It is. I'll just say it so you guys have it. But it's www.sub2subto.co. Okay, .co, not .com, .co/Zoom. That's going to be the link for Mario's meeting Monday through Friday.
That is correct. However, next week, Pace will be live with his Elephant Challenge. So next week, Pace Challenge, I believe it's from 1 to 3. I will have to double check the specific time, but next week we will not be having not Zoom, but we won't be going live, but definitely tune into Paces. He'll be going live for about 2 to 3 days and then going over the next steps within the challenge.
Awesome. Well, hey, appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to reach out. We're happy to help in any way that we can. Have a good one.